Well, today we're down here off of Bee Creek. I'm down here with my buddy Brian Maxey, the mayor whippoorwill. Brian and I have been planning this little excursion here for a couple of years, back to the Sears Cemetery. I guess, Brian, at one time this is probably the old
yeah, this was the old Sears home place.
The old Sears home place, and probably the road bed that went into it, or at least one of the road beds. They had quite a bit of real estate out here.
Yeah, they probably had well over 100 acres up in here between the shooting range down there, which was the old Sullivan Sears home place. Then clean back over the ridge, what I was telling you about. Went all the way over, and then the old cemetery's right up here. There's an old road right here. When you get down here, the old road's grown up. It goes up from the top of the hill.
Well, we're coming down here today to make good on a promise that we made, both to ourselves and to one of our sponsors who purchased this marker today. Ellen Delph Thomas passed away in 1956, and she is buried back here at the Sears Cemetery. I think there's, what, 6 graves back there, Brian?
5, I think.
5 graves?
Yeah.
This marker was sponsored by Brian House. He paid for this, Brian down at Laurel Funeral Home. And Ellen has been there for, what, 65 years?
65 years, yeah.
With a temporary metal marker that's still there.
Yeah,
I mean,
from Hart Funeral Home.
That old thing has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
But we're going to come back in here and set this little stone today and carry our things into the old Sears Cemetery. So we get this project started. Brian, let's see here, man. It's been, I'm trying to think. It's been 2 years since I've been back in here.
That's really.
Yeah.
That's a cedar tree.
Oh, yeah, those cedar.
I come down here yesterday and raked every bit of it out.
Well, good for you, man. So we're headed back into the Sears Cemetery. This is in Whitley County. We're about 7/10 of a mile from the spillway. This land could talk, bro.
Yeah. So if it's supposed to be to talk, they just have endless stories for years.
Yeah, man.
I think right here was part of one of the old home places. All this right back in here was.
I'd say there was a bunch of them lived back in here, Brian.
You see right here where I think the old road is. Right over here it goes.
Yeah, you see an old road bed because it's pushed up right there.
I tried to follow it up before I never could.
Yeah. Well, I'd say the Sears folks got, I guess their property got bought out from under them by the federal government.
Use eminent domain.
Eminent domain. Right there's an old ribbon I tied around the tree, Brian.
Yeah, that's how I originally called it, found it up. Back years ago, I followed it, never could find it again. I kept going too far up, and we'll go up to the back part of it right there. And we go back too far, and I come to the cliff line to the back part of it right there.
Yeah,
when you tied them ribbons up right there, I went up right over here and went up right there. I said, well, hell, I'm not gonna miss it this time. So I went all the way up to the top of the ridge and went back. And I found it.
It's just right up there on that ridge. Yeah. Let's carry on. The land time forgot, brother.
Yeah.
Yep. Turkey's grubbing. There she is. Sears Cemetery. You did a good job. Wow. Brian, you did a good job up here blowing leaves, or however you moving. Did you rake them?
Yeah. I like to cut them all back further to get the piles up to work the edges, but I press on time. It's already late in the evening, getting dark on me.
Just go over an inventory right here real quick. Harold Sears, 1935. Edie C. Delph, 1944. You know what I brought with me today, don't you? I bought some D2. We're gonna spray these.
That's what I need to get screwed.
Solomon Sears, 1906. Millard Delph, 1931. We need to level that one. Sarah Sears Thomas, 1956. And of course the reason we're here, Ellen Delph Thomas, been here for 65 years. There's the old marker. Boy, I tell you, it has stood the test of time, Brian.
Hart Funeral Home.
Hart Funeral Home, phone 1250, Corbin, Kentucky.
That's back when they had the old touchtone phones, you know?
Yeah.
I've got an old bow piece from the old Triplets farm, the old Triplets store down there. That I dug out at the old home place. It's got
That wouldn't have been no touch-tone phone. That'd have been the old rotary dials.
Oh yeah,
Rotary dials. So,
I've dug some of them tops of them phones at their old home places before people threw out.
yeah. After some reconsideration, we decided to use a second paver to get it up a little high. Forestry floors, a little cantankerous, a lot of leaves and stuff. So we're going to use a second paver to get the stone up a little higher, the marker.
Think it'd be good right there.
You get some around them edges. We'll work it back in toward the center, so we don't over ooze. I think that's gonna work good, Brian. It's gonna look good, man. 65 years later.
65 years, our girl finally gets her one.
Ellen deserved this. Did she, Brian?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, they recognize as real good people right here. They just live their lives every day back here on their own.
Yeah.
Made it how they best know how to.
That's right. It's country people. Lived off the land. They didn't run Walmart.
Yes, sir. You know, if we had to go back and start living like it right there now,
We'd die.
there's a lot of people that wouldn't make it, bro.
You got that right, bro.
I've had people ask me sitting there trying to start a fire with my ferro rod. I've had people actually ask me what that is. Not know what just a simple fire rod is, yeah. I'm like, dude, are you serious? You know, if we had to go back to the old ways, man, there'd be a lot of people wouldn't make it, brother.
Yes, sir.
One thing you gotta do is, like I told you earlier, is ask your mom, man. She said she's 92-year-old. She'll tell you how bad it, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, Ellen Delph Thomas, rest in peace.
Yes, man.
The 65 years in the making, Brian. We thank Brian House at Laurel Funeral Home for donating this, and
Appreciate it greatly, brother.
we brought a little gravel. That's going to look real fine, man, in time, and maybe get a little ivy cover, a little weed cover, a little grass cover going. We'll come back and check on them. We're going to come back and level some of these too, and we're going to spray them today before we leave out of here, bub.
I come up here at least once a year and clean the cemetery off. Right there, rake everything out, cut all the undergrowth and stuff out of it.
We're going to keep the old marker here for posterity's sake.
Yeah, it's been here 60 years, ain't no use moving it now.
So, you know,
Yeah.
Hart Funeral Home provided that temporary marker back in 1956. As a matter of fact, September the 17th of 1956. And Laurel Funeral Home down there on the Cumberland Parkway provided this one for us. So, y'all keep Brian House in mind. He likes to help out on these historic projects that we do. And just remember, if you want to call Hart Funeral Home, their phone number is not 1250 anymore.
That's a long time in the past, sir.
But man, you did a great job getting the leaves out of the way here and getting some presentation back in. Even though not very many people will see this little cemetery, we do.
I'm I'm hoping to bring more notoriety, you know, and awareness to this place right here.
Yep.
So people can come up here and keep these people in mind and keep their memory. You know, these is all people at one time too, right here.
Yep. You feel about these cemeteries about like I do, bub.
Well, they was. No, that's just the right thing to do, brother.
You a good boy.
That is. That's just the right thing to do, man. It is. I've always felt that way about it since I've been, you know, I've been knee high. Me and Mammal Ivory be going to the cemeteries and stuff. I'd clean these graves up and stuff like that.
That's
I could have done a better job getting this undergrowth and stuff out of here, but
well, you know, honestly, it probably needs to be grubbed out of there. In time, it's just an ongoing work. Take that. We didn't bring that mattock up here with us, did we?
I've got one right here.
Here, the Sears Cemetery in the middle of the Daniel Boone Forest over around Bee Creek. Boy, at one time, if you could go back in time, Brian, 1920s, 30s, even beyond.
About in the early 50s, I'd say this is all cleared out and we still hold farmstead.
This was a lively place with probably several Sears members and Delph members, home places here.
Yeah. She is
a lot of Sears that were down in this country. There's actually another Sears Cemetery on down the road a ways.
Yeah. I've been here before. They take pretty good care of it.
Good. Well, this one has just been
lost in time,
lost in the forest.
Yeah.
And when I found it a couple of years ago, it almost thrilled my soul when I found it. But just wanted to come back and make whatever family's still out there, make them proud to know that Ellen has a stone. And by the way, folks, if you know any graves out there that are lacking a stone, markeverygrave.com. You can order these things online. They're $26. You go to Lowe's and buy a $2 paver, some liquid nails, a little bit of gravel, and you're in business. $26 engraved and shipped to your house. You can't beat that, Brian.
No, that's
and it makes a fitting.
That's a good price for for somebody.
Well, it makes a very nice memorial for somebody.
I've got a few graves I'm gonna check in on it with that I'm wanting to get headstones for too.
Yeah. But Sears Cemetery, Bark Camp, or Bee Creek. What am I talking about? Bark Camp. Let's spray some stones, bud. It's about going to wrap us up right here at the Sears Cemetery, Brian, till we can come back up and level some stones and maybe do some cleaning and scrubbing later on. But I appreciate your help.
Anytime, brother.
And
situations like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing the right thing for people. Oh, Dylan, you got her a headstone now.
She's got her a stone, man. It's cool.